The Bitcoin chart is right now flashing multiple signals that we might be here in imminent danger for a really big move by today or tomorrow. And if you want to know what I'm exactly talking about and what levels we have to cautiously watch over the next couple hours, then you should be definitely sticking around here. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, like this video, and also activate the bell so that you will never miss out on these really important videos as I put them out. So now let's directly jump into it. Here, let me start off with the weekly chart. Here on the weekly chart, what we can see is that the Bitcoin price is still under a major downwards sloping resistance line here, which was tested over multiple weeks here right now. So we tried to test that since the beginning of the year actually. So you can see here in July, we came actually to the line and touched it before we just got close to it. Then we did not touch it for a couple of months, and only this month we touched it again. So we have technically only two touches, maybe the other one here in July. So you can say more or less 2 times in July that line was tested, and then only now again this week. So there's 3 months of price action where we did not actually touch that line. So, and the question is, will we finally see a breakthrough through that line or not? So here comes my reasoning why I believe it will be really tough for the Bitcoin bulls to push through that resistance line, because we have at the same time a horizontal multi-month resistance area that was not broken since May last no, actually further, I have to go further here at the retest. So since July 2 years ago, so that was the last time when it basically was retested as support, and afterwards we broke it and it turned into resistance, and that was in May 2022. And since then we were not able to break that key area that comes in from $28,400 all the way up to $32,100 approximately, $32,000. You can argue about that. And like I said many times before, I don't believe that at the first attempt we're gonna smash through that level and see Bitcoin doing something like this. I just don't believe it, because it's too long resistance and too strong, because every time when we get into that area, price action comes really quick under that zone again. But now things looking a little bit different, because we have also an upward sloping supporting uptrend or a trend line, and that is converging with the downward sloping resistance line into an apex here. And that tells us that maximum in 2 weeks we're gonna have a decision in which direction Bitcoin is heading, and that will be either a breakout to the upside or a move to the downside into the underlying support area on the weekly chart to 22,000, or respectively all the way down to around $19,800. Do I believe that we actually go that low? No, I don't believe that. I believe what we could more likely see is a retest of the upward sloping support line, which would be around $26,000, and from there we actually would break to the upside. But that is not the biggest warning sign that I've seen here today in the charts. I will get to that in a second, so definitely stay here with us. You can see here on the 4-hourly chart now in the lower time frames that we were forming this symmetrical triangle here, which has a bullish bias and should normally break to the upside. Now we got a fake out exactly at the level that I gave you yesterday and said, only if we close a candle above that level, enter a long position. And now you see why I said only do it if we close a 4-hourly candle above it, because we got exactly there rejected with the candle, with the following candle that should have potentially broken this price level of $28,040, and instead got rejected, and we came back down into that symmetrical triangle. So now, if this 4-hourly candle that we are seeing right now is moving further into that symmetrical triangle, chances are increasing that we will break to the downside out of that symmetrical triangle. And then we have to have a look again to the downside target. Again, with the weekly chart and total alignment, $26,000. With the triangle that we see on the weekly chart. So there you see, if we would go and break this 4-hourly symmetrical triangle to the downside and we would actually hit the technical target, we would be at the bottom of this apex here that we are forming here, this triangle shape, and potentially from there get a bounce back to the upside. So, but for now, we are not quite there yet. We could also get a bounce beforehand, but odds are favoring right now the bearish side. This is because also the MACD, the moving average convergence diagram, has here flipped bearish. We got here today a sell signal, increasingly more selling pressure coming in, so which would lead to then further downwards price action. Now, what do I believe? How low we can go before we potentially see a bounce? So I believe that we could definitely see a retest of $27,200 with a potential fake out scenario and bounce back up from here. But if here bulls are not stepping in at that price level, then definitely we're gonna hit the $26,000 target, in my opinion. So can you enter already a short position, let's say at 27,400 if you lose that level? Yes, you can, but be careful when we get to $27,100 and see how the price is reacting. So I would have here really, really tight stop loss. And as soon as we would be at 27,200, I would set my stop loss at break even if you want to short this with the potential scenario that we would break lower. So be careful here if you want to short this to the downside. Here also on this 4-hourly chart, we see now that there is an increasing chance that we move lower when I look here at the liquidation levels, because we can see that slightly under the price action on the chart are now highly over leveraged longs that could get liquidated if price action moves here all the way down to $27,000, $27,200. And there is right now more liquidity sitting down here in these long positions than above us, where we have only a few over leveraged positions. So to the downside, there are more over leveraged positions than to the upside. So it would make psychologically a lot of sense to drive the price first down, to liquidate all these over leveraged longs, and then push it up to liquidate all the over leveraged shorts that are sitting up here. So be prepared for that kind of move by today or tomorrow, where we could see something like this unfolding here on the chart. For sure, we have to talk about this pattern that you have seen already at the beginning of the video. So, and that here is also a really, really dangerous pattern right now for Bitcoin, and that is this head and shoulders pattern. This head and shoulders pattern is a really clean one because we have here our left shoulder, we have here the head, and we have the right shoulder. So the left shoulder is technically a lower high compared to the following high, which is a higher high, and then we have a lower high, and that lower high is lower than all the two highs that we had previously. So now this head and shoulders pattern can be only invalidated if we would break above $28,600. So we have to take out that high here, and as long as that is not happening, the head and shoulders pattern is still intact. It will be also still intact even after we break that one here, as long as we are not breaking afterwards the high of this year of $31,800. So now I'm not saying this head and shoulders pattern will play out tomorrow. So for that we need a really big black swan event where we see a candle going straight down like this. So this is not going to happen. So, but I want you to be aware of that there is a big head and shoulders pattern on the higher time frames, with the neckline being around $24,800. So if that head and shoulders pattern would be playing out, and I give that actually a low probability that it actually does, but I spotted this today and I want you to be aware of that. That would bring us back to $18,200, which would be not the end of the world. It would be still considered a higher low, because we have here our bottom, and we would have here then the confirmation of a double bottom if this here was not that confirmation for that double bottom. So it would be not the end of the world if we would see that. But like I said, right now, when I look everything what's going on economically and also structure wise on the Bitcoin price action, I don't believe that this is going to happen unless we see here a violent move to the downside and then a lot of follow through by breaking this. So, and even if we would see this head and shoulders pattern playing out, the move here to the downside will be a really quick one with a V-shaped recovery, something what we have seen here. So this will be definitely similar to what we have seen here in the past. So but I want you, like I said, to be aware of that. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade these triangle patterns that I have shown you, then do that on BYBIT. On BYBIT, you will still get $30,000 if you sign up with my specific link here. And also on BitGet, you still get a bonus for creating an account and depositing some money there. And you should also be aware of, if you want to be part of my private Discord server, where I share all my personal trades that I'm taking on a daily basis and a lot of alpha and TA, then you should definitely sign up on one of both exchanges and deposit at least $250 to get access to my free Discord server. So if you want to have access to that Discord server, you only need a BYBIT account or a BitGet account under my link. Only if it's under my link, you will get access with $250 in your account. Then you fill out the form and my team will send you a link to join the Discord. And I can tell you, we made already some really good money in the last couple of days there, so you should definitely not miss out on that, especially as I'm also sharing my bull market portfolio that I'm building for with a lot of 20 to 100x potential coins in that portfolio. So if you are serious about making money in the next bull run, you should definitely be in that Discord channel. Now here on the 12-hourly chart, here also more and more bearish signs are emerging for me. First of all, the price action is in no man's land because we are not close to the support, we are not close to the resistance, so we are kind of like in the middle, which doesn't have to be a bad sign. So, but instead of that, the stochastic RSI was yesterday continuing to trend here upwards, we got a sell signal and now are trending downwards again. And also the MACD on the 12-hourly chart is also flipping bearish here. So with today's daily close, if there's not something crazy happening where we get a push to $28,200, $400, then most likely we're going to get also a confirmed sell signal on the MACD, which will give further downwards pressure on the price action over the next, let's say, 24 to 48 hours. And also here on this, sorry, I wanted to show you the CME chart here again. So now Bitcoin is trading, when we look here at the 4-hourly chart, at $27,770. So we are slightly breaking here down now already. If we would stay here in this vicinity of the price action, then also the CME gap will be a little bit bigger, which would be good for us. So we would be now quite lower. We would be here around this kind of level. So you see, that is a juicy CME gap that we can trade, because if we open tonight the CME market and we are staying around these prices, chances are high that we come up to fill that gap. But I want you to be prepared of that. That could be short-lived, and then we actually move into lower levels. So, but of course, the move to the upside is something that we can trade. And don't forget, guys, do this on BYBIT or on BitGet. Links in the description or in the pinned comment below. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.